either a pole position or win in 2006, is even more hungry in 2007.
Well, you know, the Bud Light teams never showed up at a race that we didn't think we could win, so we're here to win the race.
Sean Torrente was a Rookie of the Year a season ago. Does he feel he has the experience and test time this past winter to make a real run for the title this time?
Yeah, we definitely feel like we have a shot at the championship, especially with 2 bullets in the gun and a lot of testing and a lot of experience now. Now Todd's got a ton of experience, and I've got a season and a half, so I feel real confident.
Todd Bowden is returning to the series after taking a year off to strengthen his business in Los Angeles. Can he once again refocus on the job at hand and be a serious threat for the title?
We've had a lot of preseason testing. We think we're doing really good. The boats are ready to go. Hopefully I am as a driver. I feel good in the cockpit, so we're ready, and we're going to go for that championship.
So drivers from coast to coast from throughout North America return to the historical race place of Augusta, Georgia for the first time in a decade to run on the Savannah River. As the Grand Prix of Augusta in the opening round of the 2007 Champ Boat Grand Prix Series comes and gives the thumbs up for excitement next. From the edge of the Savannah River, it's the opening round of the 2007 Champ Boat Grand Prix Series here at the Grand Prix of Augusta. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Michael, along with my partner, many-time world champion Bill Siebold, and we welcome you to lovely Augusta, Georgia, for the opening round of what's going to be shaping up to an exciting season on the water. And big surprises right off the bat, Billy. We've got 2 California Gold drivers, 1 and 2, and the surprise, Todd Bowden, coming out of retirement to put himself on the pole.
Yes, Todd took a year off last year, and he came back very strong. He was fast all weekend here, and he got himself on the pole, so he's got a great shot at winning the race.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year, Sean Torrente, right there with him. Boy, those 2 battled great on the water yesterday, didn't they?
Well, they sure did. They put on a great show, so you can tell the California Gold East-West Express has really done their homework.
Chris Fairchild, the driver out of Paw Paw, Illinois, starting 3rd. He lost a big sponsor. I think he's trying to prove a point this year.
Well, definitely. Chris is racing out of his own pocket, and that's always hard on a team. And, you know, he's got to watch his equipment, but he's running very, very strong. He's as fast as anybody out there.
Another big surprise, the man who won a world record 7 straight races a year ago, Terry Rinker, he's out of the top 3.
Yeah, that's unusual for Terry. Terry's very strong. He always qualifies well. And, you know, he just got trapped up in some traffic out there, and it's always on that 10-lap heats. It's that second heat that's so important to get through that traffic. Fans are excited. The first time in many years we've come back to Augusta, Georgia. We're excited. We're going to start the race, and when we return, right after this, timeouts. The 2007 Formula One Champ Boat Grand Prix Series is brought to you in part by Mercury, where the race never stops. And by Amsoil, first in synthetics. And by champboat.com. Don't just follow it, live it. A full day of competition on the Savannah River with a qualifying session and a pair of heat races set us up for our main event of the afternoon. Let's find out who grabbed pole position and how the field will line up for today's Grand Prix of Augusta. First boat out of the water in the top 5. Terry Rinker came on strongly. He's the driver from Tampa, Florida. He'll start in the 5th spot today. In the 4th spot will be Wyatt Nelson, the architect from Syracuse, New York, driving a DAC Italian-built hull. In the 3rd position will be Chris Fairchild, the driver from Paw Paw, Illinois, running in a Gary Pugh-designed boat.
We're coming into this race with a little bit of lack of preparation on our side. We pulled out some neat hat tricks there in the qualifying heats.
Starting 2nd today will be the youngster from Miami, Florida, Sean Torrente, last year's Rookie of the Year.
We had a great day yesterday, but yesterday was yesterday. Today we got to take it home, 50 laps strong.
And the man that will lead this field through, his teammate Todd Bowden from Los Angeles, California. He took the year off, but he looked strong early.
Well, you know, I think our preseason preparation really helped us out this year. We had a great qualifying effort yesterday with Sean on the pole position and myself, number 2. We can't ask for a better starting spot. Deck-to-deck racing. I'm looking forward to the 50-lap final.
Here's the remainder of the field for today's Grand Prix of Augusta. Starting 6th will be Mark Major from Toronto, Ontario. Next to him in the 7th spot will be Tim Siebold of the Bud Light team out of Missouri. Starting in the 8th position will be Brian Norman, an ex-offshore powerboat racer. He's from Louisiana.
Next to him in the 9th spot will be Randy Rinker, older brother of Terry. He's from Indiana. In the next spot, in the 10th position, will be Ned Mihalovic, native of Serbia, lives in Florida. In the 11th spot will be Jeff Shepard from Woodlawn, Tennessee. In the 12th position will be rookie Chuck Uncle from Thomasville, Georgia. In the 13th spot will be another Canadian, Brian Benton from Toronto. In the 14th position will be Lynn Simberger from Elza, Illinois. He was third in the championship a year ago. And rounding out the field, another rookie, Al Robinson from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 15 drivers ready to go toe-to-toe. Seconds before we begin, here's your top 10 as we take a look. And Todd Bowden out of Los Angeles with his teammate alongside as they get set to go racing. Tim Siebold starting down at 7th position will try to improve. Seconds before the start, there's Bowden on the pole as we take a look at the full line of drivers here on a hot, humid afternoon in Augusta, Georgia. They wave the flag and we're underway. As the field explodes away from the dock, they head down the long run about 3/4 of a mile down towards turns number 3 and 4 on this 4-pin mile-and-a-quarter course. Out in the lead on the jump coming around is the pole sitter, Todd Bowden, but he's feeling the heat. Next to him is Sean Torrente pushing hard. And behind that pair, looks like it's Chris Shepard from Pawpaw, Illinois, nosing himself into third. But look at the battle between the two drivers on the California Gold Racing team. They call him the East-West Express. Sean Torrente from Miami and his teammate all the way across the continent is Todd Bowden from Los Angeles. Torrente now, who started in second, starting to move himself up a little bit. He's gained about 2 or 3 boat lengths. But you can tell that Todd Bowden hasn't given up the chase. He slides to the outside. Torrente out in that clear water. Right behind, though, looks like Chris Fairchild's closed up for third. And we've got a battle heating up for fourth right now as the yellow boat of Terry Rinker, who had set the world record last year by winning 7 straight races. He won every race on a trot in 2006, but he's feeling the heat from behind. As Wyatt Nelson now, the architect out of New York, closing up. And Nelson now showing a lot of speed in that DAC Italian-built hull, that boat built out of Como, Italy by Guido Cappellini, a 9-time world champion who has raced in North America before. Into the corner now. Oh my, Wyatt Nelson hitting the brakes hard, thought he had a lane, ran out of room and had to give up some ground. And Terry Rinker now moves out a little bit extra, gained about 2 or 3 boat lengths on him in this battle that is going on heatedly for 4th place. So Rinker in that yellow machine out of Tampa, Florida, sponsored by Amsoil, is really now feeling even more the effect of Wyatt Nelson. They get side by side. Oh my, and Wyatt Nelson now noses his way up into the front. And now it's Rinker trying to close up as he shifts to the inside lane. And now Wyatt Nelson forced to go to the outside as he's got to push himself a little bit farther around this race course. 4 pins around, 1.25 miles. These drivers reaching speeds of close to 135 miles an hour. Ideal conditions today as we look at Tim Siebold. He's back in that 6th spot. He's trying to close up and move himself up a little bit closer so he can challenge for a podium run. Wyatt Nelson finished last year in this championship in the 4th spot. Would like to pick up his first victory on the tour. He has failed to win. And he's a veteran, but he knows he's come so close many times to the podium as we look at Tim Siebold. Siebold is a 4-time champion on this tour. And there's your leader, Sean Torrente. Look at the speed he's showing. And Mark Berger, the Canadian driver, he's holding point. We'll come back with more racing here in Augusta. We're just underway. Exciting Formula 1 racing right after this. Welcome back to a lovely day here in Georgia as we are on the Savannah River here in Augusta. And not having a lovely day is this man, Ned Mihalovic, a native out of Serbia, now living in Florida, struggling to get his boat back out into the race. This is the opening round of the Formula 1 Champ Boat Grand Prix Series. We're very happy you've joined us this afternoon. There's Terry Rinker trying to do the impossible, currently in 5th position. He's trying to win his 8th race in a row with a carry-on over from last year in 2006 when he swept the series. Nobody had ever done that before. That was a world record for him. And Chris Fairchild looking for a victory. Now, he hasn't won since 2004 when he won in Toledo, Ohio. But he feels like this year, this could be the year we can start racking up some wins, and we're going to see how he does. Sitting back in 3rd place right now, he is in a real chase, trying to close up on the East-West Express team of the 2 drivers from the Bowdoin development team that are running very hard and very strongly. Here's Sean Torrente, the rookie of the year a year ago, just powering his way out in front as he works his way up on Lynn Simberger, who a year ago, this driver from Illinois in boat number 72, finished third in the championship. Lynn Simberger looking for his first victory ever, a steady driver looking to come up with the checkered flag. Now on to the outside. Here's Todd Bowdoin. Now that's his teammate. He slid to the outside, and Torrente got forced to go to the outside with Lynn Simberger caught up in a sandwich. And now it looks like the driver from Los Angeles, Todd Bowdoin, has nosed in front of Sean Torrente. Oh my, what a run those two made. And now Torrente, using more speed on the outside, tries to carry it through, but Bowdoin slams the door on him on the inside lane. Tremendous racing going on for first and second between teammates. Neither one giving a quarter, neither one giving change. And out of the west side of the course, here comes your leader with his teammate right next to him, and they're going to try to work their way around Jeff Shepard, the driver out of Tennessee. Torrente staying to the outside now. Shepard can feel the heat from behind. Torrente just loves to slide through on that outside lane. He feels very comfortable with that. And this, the battle for fourth place, is getting closer and closer. Tim Siebold now, almost a shadow to Terry Rinker as he gets so close, but Rinker takes him out on the straightaway, but Siebold seems to be able to turn that boat a little bit better than Rinker. Now slides to the outside, so he's shifting back and forth lanes, and Siebold is trying to find a bit of comfort, but he can't seem to figure out the formula for success to get around the two-time defending champion. Oh my, there's a problem on the race course. Brian Norman out of New Orleans, his boat's on fire. He just shut the fuel valve off, and his boat is alit. And quickly, the rescue workers, they've stopped the race. This is down on the east side, of course. He jumps off the boat, and it looks like he's going to be okay, but we'll have to wait on the boat. What drama here in Augusta. Well, the problem the rescue team has now is they have to have enough fire retardant to put out the blaze. And yes, this engine is totally engulfed. At the same time, you don't want it to start spreading to the fiberglass. Now, they're doing the right thing. They're actually sinking the boat. That's the best way to put the fire out. You sink the boat, and that'll solve the problem. But it does have some damage, and we're ready to go back racing. Brian Norman out of this event. Todd Bowdoin off the pole. Here comes the Bowdoin Development East-West Express as they lead the field through. And Todd Bowdoin, who led Sean Torrente in the last lap before the fire, jumps out in front now in clear water. Here's where you get the real advantage for the drivers. They set the trim, they fly these boats and get them up to speeds of 135 miles an hour. Now this sport's been around for 25 years, and they've developed a quick way to get these boats flying as the drivers are using trim buttons in the cockpit to adjust these boats to get them up and moving as fast as they can out of the water. And you just saw it there. Chris Fairchild overset his trim, and now he's slowing down a bit. And here's a challenge in that third place as Wyatt Nelson now tries to take him on the inside, but he's got no room to go, and he's going to have to back off. And oh my, what a shame for the driver out of New York. And he really slows down, and now Terry Rinker tries to take him for the fourth position. So Wyatt Nelson in a gutsy move. Oh my, did you see that? There's the man who was leading the race. Todd Bowdoin has stopped in the middle of the race course. What a shame for the driver who was showing the best speed around this Savannah River all day long, and his day is over. But not for these drivers. Here's the battle for third. Wyatt Nelson on the right of your screen, and he touched, oh my, with Terry Rinker as the two got together and rubbed some paint along the sides of each spot, and they haven't given up any inches as they're trying to take the last podium position. Sean Torrente now has picked up the lead, the driver out of Miami, in this beautiful Grand Prix built boat out of Los Angeles, California. He's done a ton of testing over the winter, and they flew the whole crew out from Los Angeles to South Miami, and it's really paying off for him right now. Sean Torrente looks strong. As we come back, and we can see the man in second place, Chris Fairchild. More exciting racing from the Savannah River here in Augusta. We'll return right after this timeout. Welcome back to the opening round of the Formula One Champo Grand Prix Series here on the Savannah River from beautiful Augusta, Georgia. Glad to have you with us today as we are watching some fantastic racing. Chris Fairchild, sitting in second place, is trying to figure out a way to move up on Sean Torrente. Chris Fairchild, who won his last race back in 2004, looks strong right now as he pushes Torrente to the outside, but there's Terry Rinker. He's getting closer and closer. Don't forget about the man from Tampa, Florida, who won every race a year ago, and he's getting closer and closer as this top three is getting tighter and tighter. Tim Siebold struggling today. Usually he's on the podium, but he's back in 5th place, so his Bud Light boat that he spent extensive work on during the wintertime, maybe not running as best as he was hoping it would be, and right now he's trying to stay up in the top 5. So as he goes down on the far side of this race course of reaching speeds of about 125 miles an hour, he's closing up on Wyatt Nelson as we look back on the front straightaway. And you can see the top 3, they're covered as close as the blanket now as Rinker continues to push. And here's Wyatt Nelson back in 4th place as he has given up some real estate to Rinker. He's dropped back a bit. And you can see he's about 3.5 seconds behind him. Now, twice during this race, he got side by side or actually passed Terry Rinker. They rubbed some paint together a while ago. You can see the marks on the boat, actually. And Wyatt Nelson, though, seems to have lost some of that speed that he had earlier. Now, remember, these boats, as they run them, they get lighter and lighter. They've got 40 gallons of fuel on board. And as they burn off all the fuel at 6 pounds per gallon, there's a lot of change in the weight, and some boats get flighty while others seem to be more stable as the race goes on. Tim Siebold, who has been in the family building business of boats for many, many years, about 3 generations worth out of St. Louis, Missouri, feels like he's got all the answers on building this boat, and we'll see if it pays off as the season rolls on. But right now, he's up in the top 5, but he's not going to reach the podium yet unless something drastic happens out in front. Down the front straightaway, there is your leader, Sean Torrente, many-time national champion. He's been elected to the Hall of Champions 3 different times. A tremendously young, talented driver, went to Florida State University. And it's stark contrast to see Wyatt Nelson, 47-year-old architect out of New York. As in front of him, though, here's the battle for first place. Oh, my, Chris Fairchild on the inside. The Illinois driver has now grabbed the advantage. Can he hold it going into turn number 3? Side by side, Torrente, he's going to the outside. Can Chris Fairchild get around him as they come out of turn number 4? Torrente pushed to the outside. And now it looks like Fairchild on the right side of your screen is nose to head. Chris Fairchild out of Chicago, Illinois, has moved himself into first place here late in the race on a great move as he challenged Torrente, and Torrente had to back off, and now he tries to catch up to him as those 2 boats touched as they went down through turn number 4. This race is really physical, and we are seeing it today here on the Savannah River. Formula One Champ Boat Grand Prix racing, fantastic action in front of tens of thousands of fans here in Augusta, Georgia this afternoon on a perfect day, and they're now watching a new leader, Chris Fairchild, taking it down the front straightaway. Chris Fairchild in an American-built boat built by Gary Pugh out of Nashville, Tennessee. Gary Pugh designs all sorts of boats in different classes, and it's sure working for Chris Fairchild as he struggled a bit last year deciding which hull he wanted to go with, but he elected to go to this one. And it's starting to really work today. Look at the lead that he's built up on Sean Torrente going into turn number 3, as well as he would imagine. It's 10 boat lengths lead. Sean Torrente desperately trying to figure out a way to close the gap with Terry Rinker right behind in 3rd. The top 3, as now you can see Chris Fairchild coming up on Randy Rinker. He is the older brother of Terry Rinker, who's back in 3rd. Randy Rinker in a boat that was built by David Lee out of Alabama. And Chris Fairchild works up. The white flag's out. Less than a lap to go. Fairchild on the back straightaway now with just 2 more corners to go. And he's going to pick up the victory here. And Chris Fairchild comes across and picks up the opening round win here in beautiful Augusta, Georgia. His first win since 2004 in Toledo. And he is excited on a great victory with Sean Torrente coming home in 2nd. Terry Rinker 3rd. So you got to wonder what's running through Chris Fairchild's mind. His first victory since 04. And Brian Venton will come home in 10th place, but the heated battle for 4th comes across the line with Wyatt Nelson just edging Tim Siebold, who will finish in the 5th position. So as our winner goes around, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come